I would like to extend a warm welcome to all our guests, and we sincerely hope that you enjoy the meeting. The Future Leaders Gabble Club is a Toastmaster club open to high school students and middle school students, in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Each meeting has three parts. The first part of the meeting is a prepared speech section, which members will take their time to prepare a speech and deliver it to us. The second part of our meeting is the table topic section, where members and guests can participate and practice and improve their impromptu speaking skills by answering questions given by the table topics master with a 1 to 2 minute response. This final part of our meeting is the evaluation portion, which the speech evaluators provide feedback on our prepared speeches. Additionally, we will be having functionaries deliver their reports and help everyone enhance their public speaking skills. And to start off our meeting, I would like to introduce our Toastmaster of the night who will be guiding us through each segment. Sorry. Please help me welcome Eliana. Eliana, take it away.
Thank you, Michelle. Let's meet our functionaries first. Let's see. Devin, will you please tell us about the all counters rule?
Thank you, Toastmaster Eliana. As today's all counter, I will listen carefully and note any words or sounds used as crutches or pause filler by anyone who speaks during the meeting. These may include inappropriate interjections such as and, well, but, so, as well as sounds like um, er. I will also note when a speaker repeats words or phrases such as I, or this means, this means. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Eliana.
Thank you, Devin. Janya, will you please tell us about the grammarian's role?
Thank you, Eliana. As the grammarian, I will listen for the word of the day, which will be euphoria. It means a feeling or state of intense excitement or happiness. An example would be the euphoria of success will fuel your desire to continue training. I encourage anyone speaking during any part of the meeting to use it. Throughout the meeting, I will listen to everyone's word usage and write down any awkward use of or misuse of language. And I'll be posting the word of the day in the chat box. Thank you, and back to you, Liana.
Thank you, Janya. Caleb, will you please tell us about the timer's role?
Sure. As a timer, I will be monitoring the time for each participant, and I will signal them as to the amount of time they have currently used, and I will be using a Zoom app called Timer, which will look something like this. For table topics, for example, as soon as you start speaking, I will turn on this timer and you will have 2 minutes to deliver your table topics response. I will also change my background to show green at the beginning of the expected time, yellow at the middle of the expected time, and red at the end of the agreed allotted time. And I will note the times used by each participant. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you, Caleb. Now, Howard, will you tell us about the general evaluator role?
Sure. As the general evaluator, I will manage the evaluation portion of the meeting by calling on for speech evaluators and the reports from the all counter, grammarian, and timer. Finally, I will provide an evaluation of the meeting as a whole. Thank you, and back to you, Eliana.
Thank you, Howard. Now let's begin. Our first speaker is Michelle, so take it away.
I am on the beach, getting ready to ride a wave, turning my surfboard around and laying on it. So whoosh, the wave slams into me. But it's okay, because I jolt up and I stand on my surfboard like the true Sigma I am. But all of a sudden, a second wave from the side crashes into me. causing me to tumble off my surfboard and fall in the water. That's fine though, because failures happen all day. I stood up, my surfboard facing the opposite direction of the wave. Now, why would I add this small little detail that the surfboard was facing the opposite direction of the wave? Now, the reason why is because when your surfboard faces the opposite direction of where the waves are coming, then, bro, then you can easily get injured. And also, that is exactly what happened to me. The waves crash right into my back when I'm unsteady, and I almost impale my stomach on that surfboard.
What about me, bro?
Now, again, I'm fine. Just a scratch or something from slamming my face straight into the sand. But it's fine. A few scratches won't kill me, right? As I get up from the water for the second time in a row, I hear shrill screams coming from behind me. And when I turn around, I see a girl from my camp on a surfboard. And she's screaming at me to move out the way. And it's already too late. Not only does a wave crash over me for the third time, but this girl's surfboard runs me over like a car. The plastic fins scratching my back, forcing my face under the water, submerging me for the third time in a row. Now, again, I am totally fine. I am not mentally dying or physically. And she comes over with a frantic and concerned look on my face. She asked me, "Are you okay?" And you know what I said? "Yeah, I'm fine." Now, the truth is, I'm not actually fine. In fact, I'm the farthest from fine. There were 3 long scratches on my back, and I I flipped in the water 3 times, and I couldn't breathe without the burning sensation of salt water sucking all the moisture from my nostrils. And I'm pretty sure I saw a lemon shark underneath the water, and it is probably mad at me for being such a wreck. Now, you know, now, all this has made me think. Actually, why do I do this? Like, why do I refuse help? Am I like trying to kill myself? Well, the answer is no. And the second answer is fear. Fear. It's the reason why we do this. Why our body triggers a flight or fight response. My bad, my brother's doing moves. Now, as I classically start and end my speeches, I will be talking about how you can avoid my dumb mistakes as an idiot. First of all, you could practice breathing. I know I sound corny and I sound like your preschool teacher when you scrape your knee after falling off a swing. Take a deep breath. Calm down. There's no rush unless you're in a die situation here. But of course, take a deep breath. Second is assess your situation. Assessing your situation is more useful than you think. You might be fighting a bear or something. The bear's squaring up on you. It's like, yeah, you want to fight me? First, assess your situation. You're gonna be like, who is this conflict? Or what is my conflict? And how did I get in here? And what is a reasonable way where I can end this conflict without getting hurt? That is, and now that is the second part. The third part, actually, hold up, my bad. The third and last part of this advice is don't always listen to me. Like, My advice could be absolutely useful, yes, but just think of it. Not all conflicts are gonna be all softy, like, oh, I'm gonna punch you up. Whoa, hold up, that's not nice. Oh, yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. I'll never do that ever again. Not everything is like that. You could be, like I said, fighting a bear. Because the only advice I could give you when you're in that situation is trust your flight instincts. And do not trust me, because the bear will not talk to you and ask to resolve the conflict nicely. And that is all for my speech. So back to you, Eliana.
Thank you, Michelle. I think that's the only speech we have today, so we'll be moving on to our table topics portion, led by also Michelle. Michelle?
Sorry, hold up. I need to get the document open real quick, if you don't mind.
Okay.
It might take a minute or so. Okay, yeah, sorry. Anyways, so my first question will be going to where is it? Oh my gosh. To Andrew. Andrew, what is your favorite holiday and how do you celebrate it?
I guess my favorite holiday would be like Christmas because like you get presents and then you get like a bunch of stuff and then also you get like to like do a lot of fun activities on Christmas. Also there's typically no school as it's for most people winter break. So then you get a vacation and also you get to have a bunch of presents. So I feel like it's very fun. Also, like I celebrate Christmas by like everybody getting like presents and everybody exchanging gifts, etc. And also, it's one of my favorite holidays because compared to like other holidays, you get a bunch of gifts and then you sometimes get money, which typically doesn't happen with other holidays. So it's the best holiday if you just want to have like a bunch of toys. Also, it's quite fun as everybody gets to do a bunch of things, school and yeah. And also, typically, like all holidays are fun, but I feel like the Christmas is just better than the other holidays.
All right, thank you, Andrew, for that response. I also like Christmas because it's probably the only day of break I will ever get in my life without my parents yelling at me. For our second table topic speaker, I will be having. Well, actually, I'm gonna ask the question first. Describe the most unusual food you have ever tried. And I will be giving this to Aaron, if you could answer the question, or if you want to.
I've never really had anything particularly unusual. Um, I would probably say something like sushi, like raw fish. I didn't think I would eat that, but it tastes actually fine, and the texture isn't as weird as I thought it would be. That's it.
All right, thank you, Aaron, for that response. I also think some raw fish on sushi is kind of weird. Only some, though. For our third table topic speaker, if you could be an animal for a day, which one would you be and why? And this will be for Mark, I think. If you can speak or if you want to speak. If not, then you can just not respond.
If I was like to be a favorite animal, I would choose to be like probably like a lion because like I like lions. I saw a few at the zoo.
All right, nice. I would probably not be a lion. That's interesting, actually. And for our next question is, what is your favorite way to spend a weekend? And I will be asking this question to Henry.
My favorite way to spend the weekend. So the question was my favorite way to spend the weekend, right? Okay. My favorite way to spend the weekend is a weekend where I get to have 10 full hours of sleep, and after that, I can immediately go outside, touch grass for a few minutes, and then spend part of the day with my family and go to sleep after watching like an entire season of TV shows. As for the second day, I like to do something similar, except for one thing. The one thing is, gotta study for the test on Monday that I completely forgot about until 11 p.m.
Thank you for that response. Personally, that is so relatable. I always forget to study. Sometimes. For, I believe, you know what? I'm not keeping count of these questions. That's too much work. If you could be, or if you could have any fictional character as a best friend, who would it be? And I will be giving this to Ethan.
This is kind of ironic, but today at my school, the teacher asked me the exact same question. So there is this TV show called Phineas and Ferb, where two brothers, once Phineas and Ferb, like build like crazy contraptions and always annoys her sister. And I would have Phineas as my best friend because he's talkative and extrovert, and also never boring to be around. Always good to be around with. So for me, a day like to spend a day with him, I would probably like build one of the best contraptions and then let the whole neighborhood see it, and then I could build like one of my, I don't know, monopolies on some crazy high-tech gadgets. And thank you, and back to you, Michelle.
Thank you, Ethan, for that response. I have personally never heard of that character, but he sounds super fun. If he doesn't bully me, if that is. For my next question, it's, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I will be giving this question to Janya.
Where do I see myself in 5 years? Well, there's two different ways I see myself and two different paths. One could be me just doing university in India or me staying in Canada. They're two different things because if I'm in Canada, I have different options from India. In Canada, I would study probably coding or medicine. But if I go to medicine, I would study the missionary that's used in hospitals, and coding would be general languages like Python, JavaScript, etc. But if I go to India, I would still learn coding, but my other option would be hardware, mechanics, which sound very tough. And the fact that I am not good at exams, and for Indian universities, it's mostly just exams that you have to write. I might not be able to make it to a good one, but we'll try our best. So these are two places that I'll be seeing myself in the next 5 years. Thank you, and back to you, Michelle.
Thank you, Janya, for that response. Okay, response. My bad. From what I've seen, don't worry, don't doubt yourself. You're doing amazing, actually. Next, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? And I will be giving this question to Caleb.
Thank you, Michelle. This past summer, I went to the Global Leadership Summit, which is in Chicago, held every year, and it is a place where many of the top leaders in the world are present to give speeches and talks. And one of the people who was speaking was John Maxwell. And I'm not sure if any of you have heard of John Maxwell in particular, but he is one of the most influential leadership experts in the entire world. And he is in his late 70s, but he is still going and speaking to very many diverse audiences. And he talked especially about how to leave a leadership legacy. And one of the things he mentioned is to every day add value to people. You can add value to people very simply. You can smile at them. You can acknowledge them. You can give them a compliment. You can tell them what a great job you're doing. Maybe you can offer them a suggestion. But always add value to people. And that is what he said to do. Simply add value and value people. Just valuing people alone is enough and can help to make your leadership legacy last. Another important aspect of leadership is to see people. And this is very similar to valuing people, but also simply the ability to be able to see people, maybe people who are different than you, maybe people who have different beliefs or ideologies than you. Being able to see them and to connect with them and to be able to have a meaningful relationship with them is another way that you can value people and leave a lasting legacy with them. So I encourage all of you to start adding value to people, valuing people, and I can't wait to see your leadership legacy. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you, Caleb, for that response. I would also like to leave that type of legacy. For our next question, if you could start your own business, what would it be and why? And I'd like to give this to Angelina.
Thank you, Michelle, for the question. So, if I were to start a business, I probably wouldn't want to, my goal probably wouldn't be to have a really big company. And I think I would just focus on being a small business. And nowadays, there are a lot of small businesses that sell small crafts and products that are handmade. And I probably would do something like that, but I'm not sure what product I would actually want to sell. And I know starting a business is a really hard thing though, and to be honest, I don't see myself doing it. But I think if I were to do it, I would probably want to start a small business selling something that I personally enjoy or I feel like other people need and a lot of people don't have. So personally, I think my goal would be to create a good brand name, and I don't think I would aim to be one of the top companies. So thank you, and back to you, Michelle.
Thank you, Angelina, for that response. That was actually a really thoughtful response. Next, what is one place you want to travel to and why? And I think I'll be asking this question to Amelia.
One place I would love to travel to is probably Italy, because I want to go to Venice and like those boat thingy that people whatever like row and then you go under a bridge. I want to go on one of those. And Italy has pretty delicious food. I really want to eat their pasta. And I really want to try the Italian gelato because I tried it here in Texas and it's pretty decent, but I want to try it in Italy. I also want to go to the Nutella factory because I think it's there in Italy somewhere. I want to go there and try the Nutella that's made over there. And thank you, and back to you, Michelle.
Thank you, Amelia, for that response. The Nutella factory part was interesting, to be honest. I was not expecting that, because personally, I hate Nutella. Do not beat me up with bricks, okay? Our next question is, what is your favorite book or movie and what makes it special to you? And this I'll be asking to Hillary if you want to respond.
I'm sorry, could you please repeat the question?
Sure, no problem. What is your favorite book or movie that is and what makes it special to you? My bad.
Mm. One of my favorite books is this book series called Artemis Fowl. It is about this young mastermind, this young criminal mastermind, as he go goes from most definitely evil to slightly less evil. I think it's very interesting and well, not relatable obviously, but like I think it's a very fun book and it also involves mythical creatures. And yeah, that's it. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you, Hillary, for that response. And that book sure sounds interesting, and it sounds like something I would read. So, in my free time, I'll definitely try and read the book. Yes, Janya?
I'm so sorry. Oh.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought you were asking a question. What, for our next question, what is the best piece of advice you have ever received? And I will be giving this to Howard.
The best piece of advice I've ever had. I feel like this is actually a question that may seem to shock you. So I was actually scrolling on YouTube one time and I came upon this video. I cannot remember what exactly it was. It was something about meeting, I think, a former mafia leader or something. I know, I like watching those type of things. Anyways, and throughout the video, I feel like it was pretty normal. Just, oh, I did some bad things. I don't want to do bad things anymore. I'm not a bad person. But at the end, I heard, I'm pretty sure one line. They said, "What was your greatest regret?" And then he said, "Nothing." He didn't regret anything. And I feel like that has pretty much become one of my mottos because every mistake you make, you could improve by that mistake. And if you didn't make that mistake, you would never improve. So if you regret making that mistake, that means you regret improving. So I feel like instead of seeing mistakes as failures, see them as a way to learn and do not regret making that mistake. Thank you.
Thank you for that response, Howard. That was actually quite well, all of these are well, but yeah. I'm like running out of brain cells to commit to giving advice or response. My bad. For our next question, if you could live in any time period in the world, what would it be and why? And this is for Eliana.
If I could live in any time period of the world, I think I would live in the first century, when Jesus was alive. I would wait, I feel like I answered this one question before. Oh, well, um, I would make sure to go to Israel and see if I could see him in real life. I would become like one of those crowds who are like following him everywhere, and I would hope to like see one of his miracles or uh hear some of his teachings. I would also want to meet all the people in that era, like his disciples or Paul or I don't know, other people, other Christians there. So yeah, if I could go back in time and live anywhere I want, I would live in the first century in Israel. Thank you. And back to you, Michelle.
Thank you for that response, Eliana. As a Christian myself, I would probably not say that because I do not want to see our Lord and Savior being executed. 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 My bad. Now that everyone's answered, well, I've always been picking random, but whatever. Next question is, if you were a superhero, what would your superpower be and why? And I will be asking this to Ethan.
Can you repeat that question?
Yeah, no problem. If you were a superhero, what would your superpower be and why?
If I were a superhero, I bet my power would be time traveling. Wait, I'm wait, restart. So if I'm a superhero, my power would be time traveling. Well, time traveling might not seem much at a glance, but but with that power, you can travel to any time period, not just the past, but the future, which is always overlooked. So, for example, I I live in the 18th century, and I want to communicate to my friends like anytime, anywhere. But I don't know how, so I travel like 300 years. And then all of a sudden, I'm in the 21st century where phones and tablets and Wi Fi was a thing. So I can just teleport my friends back, and then I can experience the mind boggling inventions ahead of time. And thank you. And back to you, Michelle.
Thank you, Ethan, for that response. I would probably also want that. Maybe because I could probably control time and maybe stop it and get a few extra hours of sleep. But putting aside that, our next question is if you won the lottery to if you won the lottery today, what would you do with all that money? And this question will go to Aaron.
First, I would find someone that knows how to deal with money, and I would hire them, and I would put 60% of it into savings so that I'm not using all of it at once. And I would just start spending. I would donate about, if it were a lot of money, I would say like 20 to 30% of it. And then I would just spend 10% on me, my family, and everything I ever wanted. Thank you.
Thank you for that response, Aaron. Personally, all of you guys can go. I'm not dealing with these money hungry sucking leeches. Okay, no, that's a joke. That's a joke. Do not hit me for that. I have done two controversial jokes now. That's fun. Next, if you could switch lives with somebody for a day, who would it be and why? And this is for Janya.
If I could switch lives with somebody, well, I personally think no one's life is easy in any way. But if I would want to switch lives with somebody, I would do it with a famous person. Someone like Peter Parker or some kind of actor who goes on television and who could be on television 24 by 7. Even though I'm scared of public speaking, I would be on television, guys. I'm on television. Isn't that such a great thing to talk about? So I would switch with, if I had to switch with someone, I would go with a famous person like Peter Parker, Tom Holland, etc., etc. Thank you, and back to you, Michelle.
Thank you, Johnny, for that response. For some reason, my brain shut off when you said Peter Parker, and I had to Google him to figure out who that was. My bad. Okay, I think we have time for two more questions. So, what is the best vacation and why? And I will be giving this to Mark.
Well, for me, the best vacation I've been on was probably to Hawaii once for like, yeah, because like my mom and dad have something to do there. I forgot, but I like visited the beach and I found the beach like very beautiful. So probably Hawaii would be my best place I visited. Thank you.
Thank you for that response. And now our last table topics. What is a skill that you always wanted to learn and why? And let me randomly pick. I'm sorry. I did not pick before. Uh, Eliana. Eliana.
A skill that I've thought of having was, well, that I could remember everything. If I just look at it for like 1 second, I memorize the entire thing. Because that would be extremely helpful in school or basically anything I'm doing. I would also want that to apply to listening or basically anything I do. It would be good because, well, I could read extremely fast, um, always always know what to put on tests, and not have to study at all. And if it includes like feeling, then I'd only have to practice my instruments for like 5 minutes before I memorize the entire song. So that's a skill I would have is mem being able to remember everything, even only after doing it once. Thank you, and back to you, Michelle.
Thank you, Eliana, for that response. And that concludes our table topic session. So now I will be handing the controller over to our general evaluator today, which is Howard. So take it away.
All right, so after like listening to this meeting, I feel like this meeting was actually quite productive with Michelle leading us.
I'm sorry. I think I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't think I have this. Like, I don't think I have the right script, or do I
Mm,
just call on them first?
yeah, you call on them first, yeah.
I am so sorry, Ever. The
So first,
I
Howard,
have
you would
sorry.
call on the speech evaluator and
Yes,
then the functionaries in order. And I think you have access to agenda. I gave you
yes,
access.
I have it. So I would like to call on the speech evaluator, right?
Yeah, I'll be evaluating Michelle's speech today. So, unfortunately, I can't open my camera right now, but I will say that Michelle had a really interesting and humorous speech, which I think is one of the best things that Michelle is good at as a speaker overall. So, you start off with a really interesting hook, and you also added a lot of humor to it, which further hooked the listener in. And you also had a lot of humor overall in the story. So whenever the listener got a little bit bored, they were hooked back in with your use of figurative language and detailed explanations. So I also think that you had really good vocal variety, and I noticed that during the really intensive parts, you exaggerated your voice a lot and you toned it down when you talked about your advice for what we should do when faced with certain situations. And I also think that despite the advice you gave being a little bit cliche, adding your own touch of humor made it a lot more interesting to listen to. So, a couple of things I think you could work on. The main thing is connecting the story more, because personally, when I was listening to your story and you switched to the lesson that you wanted us to learn, I remember something about fear, but I don't think you connected it clearly enough to the point where I was able to understand how your story connected to the advice you were going to give us and how it connected to fear. And I think one reason why is because you did drag on the story for a while and you did go off topic a little, but I think that's the main thing that you could work on. So just thinking about which parts of the story are most important and how you can connect that to what you want us to take away. And for two smaller things I noticed, I think you seem to pause a lot, but they didn't seem to be in the right places. So somewhere you could have paused was like right after you described the really severe injuries you had after the incident. And that would let the severity sink in a little bit more. And the last thing I would say are hand gestures. So I did notice you used some hand gestures during the really intensive parts, which were really good. But I think you could have incorporated them a little more overall throughout your speech as well. So instead of just some parts, you could use them throughout the speech as well. So overall, I think you had a really humorous speech. And like I said, I think that's one of the best things that you're good at. And I would say keep up the good work and good job. Thank you. And back to you, Howard.
Thank you, Angelina. So, I would also like to call on the all counter. So, uh,
Howard, I believe that is Devin, so you can simply call him Devin.
so Devin.
Thank you, General Evaluator Howard. So, starting off for our Toastmaster today, Aliana. I didn't notice any awkward interjections or repeated words, so great job. For speaker one, Michelle, I didn't catch anything. I don't think we have a speaker two, right? Yeah. For table topics master Michelle, I noticed one but great job on all these creative table topics. For table topic speaker one, Andrew, I didn't catch anything. For table topic speaker two, wait, sorry, I don't think speaker one is Andrew. But I forgot. Sorry guys, my fault. But I didn't catch anything. For table topic speaker two, Aaron, I believe. I catch two but as it's probably your first table topic, you did a great job and keep up with this amazing work. For table topic speaker three, Mark, I didn't catch anything. For table topic speaker four, Henry, I catched two repeated and then and a few repeated and, but still you did an amazing job. For table topic speaker 5, Ethan, I didn't catch anything. Guys, I don't know what's wrong with my typing. Sorry guys, it's not Ethan. I think it's Janya. Sorry. But I didn't catch anything. And I love how you expand your response. Great, good job. For table topics, speaker 6, which is Caleb, I didn't catch anything. For table topics, speaker 7, Angelina, I didn't notice anything as well. For table topic speaker 8, Amelia, I noticed a few pauses, but overall, good job. For table topics speaker 9, Hillary, I noticed a few and a repeat phrase, which I'm so sorry, I forgot. For table topic speaker 10 and 11, who are Howard and Eliana, I didn't catch anything. For table topics 12, Aaron, I catched a few repeat, but overall great job. For table topics speaker 13 and 14 and 15, or Mark, Howard, and Eliana, I didn't notice anything. For general evaluator Howard, I didn't catch anything. For speech evaluator 1, Angelina, I didn't catch anything. And I think your evaluation was very helpful. Thank you, and back to you, Howard. Oh, by the way, if there's any inaccurate information, you are always welcome to tell me. And that being said, thank you, and back to General Evaluator Howard.
Thank you, Devin. Next, I would like to call on the grammarian, who is Janya.
Thank you, Howard. Starting with the speech evaluator 1, Michelle, no, speaker 1, my bad. Michelle, I didn't catch anything. And going to the table topics speaker 1, Andrew, didn't catch anything. Table topic speaker 2, Aaron, nothing. A lot of people didn't make any errors today. Mark had a few reputations, but not really grammatical, I think. Table topic speaker 4, Henry, nothing. Table topic speaker 5, Ethan. I like how you use ironically, is nice word usage. And then it was me. Well, I don't know what I did. And then it was Caleb. I like the words or phrases that you used, add more value. And it was told by somebody else, I believe, but it was great. That doesn't come up into my mind usually, so that was great. Angelina, I caught nothing. Amelia, nothing. Henry, I didn't catch anything. Howard, I didn't catch anything. Eliana, nothing. Ethan, Erin, both of you, nothing. And then there was Mark. I think you said for like, yeah, to go, something like that. You could have said to visit, but it was your first table topics and you might have stuttered a little, but it was great anyways. And then it was Eliana, had no errors. And then coming to the evaluation portion, Angelina had nothing either. Thank you, and back to you, Howard.
Thank you, Janya. Now I would like to call on our timer, Kayla.
Thank you, Howard. For today's meeting, we had many people within the time and a few who were unfortunately outside of the time, but no worries at all. First of all, I want to explain what the times are. So the times for the speakers are 5 to 7 minutes, and then the table topics is 1 to 2 minutes responses. Now I will begin with my report. First off, Michelle had a speech of exactly 6 minutes, which is right within the time. Andrew, our first table topic speaker, had a time of 1 minute and 15 seconds. Aaron had a time of 26 seconds. Mark had a time of 20 seconds. Henry had a time of 1 minute and 27 seconds. Ethan, a time of 1 minute and 2 seconds. Janya, 1 minute and 26 seconds. Caleb, 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Angelina, 1 minute and 9 seconds. Amelia, 42 seconds. Hillary, 42 seconds. Howard 120 seconds, Eliana 1 minute and 2 seconds, Ethan 51 seconds, Aaron 38 seconds, Janya 51 seconds, Mark 20 seconds, Eliana 1 minute and 7 seconds, Angelina 3 minutes and 10 seconds, Devin 2 minutes and 58 seconds, and Janya 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And one thing I would like to add to the Janya's grammarian report is, Devin, when you said I caught someone's use of grammar, you would say catched, so that's not quite the proper way to say it. You would want to say caught. So I caught you saying 10 so's. That would be bad. But just make sure to keep in mind that change. In English grammar, it's very confusing, and I'm very, very sorry. But I did not create the English language. And with that said, I will go back and hand this over to Howard.
Thank you, Gil. Finally, I would like to comment on this meeting, and I feel like this meeting was actually quite insightful for me. First of all, we have Michelle's amazing speech with a very unique speech style, which has been commented on by Angelina. Second of all, I would like to congratulate everyone today for paying attention, and also Angelina, Devin, Janya, and Caleb's great reports on today's performance. Finally, I would also like to say that I would also like to thank Michelle for being our Toastmaster today, and and providing us with great table topics. Thank you.
Thank you, table topics general evaluator Howard. And thank you to everyone who came to the meeting and participated. I enjoyed this meeting, and I can't say I enjoyed my own parts of this meeting because that'd be glazing. But I enjoyed everyone's unique responses, and they were fun to listen to. Now, do we have any announcements, Caleb, that we need to make?
I only have one thing I would like to share, and that is that last week on Sunday, we had our first ever in-person FLGC meetup with over 7 FLGC members in attendance and some siblings. So here's a photo of, this is Abby, Natasha's sister. This is Kara, who's not here today, but she'll be back. Then Eliana, Natasha, we have Caleb, myself. This is William, Rachel, and Michelle's brother David. And there's another photo of us. I'm gonna share it real quick. Hold on, I think I need to stop share. Sorry, I am not quite used to using Zoom. Share screen. I just lost the, oh, okay, here it is. And here we are eating or finishing dinner. So all of us had dinner together, and we had a really great fun time. And we're definitely gonna plan to do it again sometime in the future. So if you're interested in attending, it'll probably be either in January, or if we can't do it in January, next August. But it'll be in California, and if you're interested, please let me know and I'll give you more information. So thank you to everyone who was at the meetup, and it was great meeting all of you there. And I'd like to hand it back to Michelle.
Yeah, thanks, Caleb. The meetup was fun, and I can't help but comment, but my brother kind of looks a little bit kooky in the photos. Okay, now before I adjourn this meeting without a gavel, do any of you guys have any questions or comment or feedback that you want to give to this meeting tonight? And if so, you can open your mic and share. Oh, Janya, yeah?
About the payment, I thought I knew how to do it, but I think I forgot, and I don't think I've paid yet. Could I know anything about the payment or how I could pay?
Yeah, Janya, I'll email you a form for the payment. And Also, just so everyone knows, the payment is not necessarily required, but it really helps us because coming up in November, we are going to need to pay our dues to Toastmasters International, the host of our club, and it's about $200. So it's very helpful if we have a great proportion of you paying, so that it just helps to offset our costs. So I will definitely send you some information, and there will be more information as we get closer to November as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so do you have any more questions or feedback? Okay, if not, then at we're early. Okay, at 6:58 Pacific time, I believe.